the waiting, standing around and watching. You don't get into relationships because you're afraid of moving too fast for them, being too intense, being too much, right? Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading. So this originally started as like last week's all signs, but then I realized, I'm a little wordy. So I decided to make it this week's readings. So why not? Let's do it because I like to change things up a little bit. So what this is for today is we're going to go over what is it that's within you that is stopping you from getting your next relationship. Because we know that everything that we do comes from the inside, right? Because what's out here is reflective of what's in here. So we're going to go over that. That way then maybe it'll help you, So let's see. What does Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Rising need to see in regards to this here? I'm also going to, so we're going to go over like the past of like what caused this, what's the advice, what does the universe want, the advice, as well as like a piece of like a psychic reading, I'm going to call it, where basically what signs, you would look for when your next love relationship is coming in. What signs and stuff like that. I'm going to show you how you can, or teach you how to program the universe. So you can program it to give you like an alarm when something is to occur, because that is actually really helpful. And I'll go over that here in a minute. So show me what Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Rising. Yes, check all of your placements in case this one doesn't fit. Maybe your other ones will show. What do they need to hear? What happened? What's stopping Scorpio from getting their next relationship? What's inside Scorpio? Yellow. Okay. We've got 7 of Pentacles and 6 of Cups. Okay. I'm going to go over all this here in just a minute. Show me the advice. What's the advice, or what should Scorpio consider? We've got 8 of Swords. Okay. And what patterns... I have a kitty down there. What patterns... yes, kitty. Can you see him? Yeah, you can. This is Ziggy. Back there's Mika. My yin and yang kitties. One's white and gray and the other one's black and white. Anyway, white and gray and tiny and like a bird. He's little like a bird. The other one's giant because he's mixed with a Maine Coon. So, yeah, anyway. What was I saying? Okay, what's the signs that, or patterns that Scorpio would recognize to be their alarm that their new love relationship is coming, and to keep an eye out? What is it? What's the sign or pattern, please, for Scorpio? You've got a lot of cards. 2 of Swords, the Chariot, 9 of Pentacles. Okay. All right, we're going to go with that. So, let's talk about the past. So, what we've got here is 6 of Cups and 7 of Pentacles. What this says is that actually there's a lot of just general delay here. General delay. It's like waiting. It's like you're always assessing and watching and not actually doing, and because I'm looking at this 6 of Cups here, and I'm noticing how the time, you see how the guy starts as a kid and with a dog, and then the dog grows, dog's a puppy, and then it progresses to an adult with a dog, and an old dog, right? And so it shows like the progression of time, just waiting forever to get this done. And again, this 7 of Pentacles is more waiting. So it's like you just you take too long. And so what is it? So there must be something from your past, okay? There must be something from your past where you've been too fast about doing things, doing certain things, or jumping into relationships, because I mean, you're Scorpio, you feel things, right? You feel things, and you feel it deeply and immensely, especially if you have a Scorpio Venus. Especially if you have that. I mean, you see someone and you're like, yep, you're mine. So, and you never forget that person, ever, you know, a lot of times. So when you're actually emotionally involved, you never forget them. And so it's like, by acting upon like your emotions and everything like that, and doing like what you did in the past, there must have been something that you did in the past where it was too fast and you ended up getting burned by it. Okay. So the advice, because it makes you skittish to go any faster, and that's actually what's stopping you. And so there's a lot of like stand back and observe energy here. A lot of stand back and observe energy. I know not all Scorpios are like this. I'm not. Only I have a Leo moon. I can't help but act. And so that's just me. And so, but the thing is that, you know, if you're the type to stand back and just watch and wait, that's the Scorpio I'm talking to. Okay. So check your sun, your moon, rising, Venus, you know, any other prominent placements if this one doesn't fit. So the advice for that Scorpio that I am talking to, we've got 8 of Swords. And what's interesting about this image, and you see how she's like doing okay out here, right? She's doing okay out here, but in the mirror, she's tied up. But in reality, she's fine, right? So I think what it is that it's like they want you, you're a Scorpio, you're really good at digging down to like the deep root of issues, but a lot of times you just have to be shown that it's actually there, that there's an issue there. Thought I saw a black movement and I'm like, oh yeah, cat left. Okay. You're really good at digging down and finding deep issues, the root of the problem, right? You're really good at that. So it's like you just need to actually see it. So if this does resonate with you, with this 6 of Cups and 7 of Pentacles, the waiting, standing around and watching, you don't get into relationships because you're afraid of moving too fast for them, being too intense, being too much, right? What they're saying with this one here is take a look and see the illusion that you have in your brain about it. Take a look, stand back and see the illusion. Because this chick right here in this image right here, she's seeing an illusion. She's not actually tied up. It's not real. It's her own binds within her mind that are stopping her. And I think a lot of times, you know, Scorpios, we just need someone to say that. And we're like, oh. Especially if you have Scorpio Mercury as well, or, you know, whatnot. And so, because you'll just be like, oh. And you're like, well, shit, that was easy. But a lot of times, it's just a matter of just realizing it. And so, anyways, so once that occurs, let's talk about what patterns you can look for in the universe to see, or, you know, once you see these, it's your alarm that your new love is coming. So these are just, you know, cards. Now, the thing is that these are not going to be read like a tarot reading, okay? They're not going to be read like a tarot reading. I'm using them as a trigger for myself. So let me tell you about how the universe works first, okay? And it's really useful for future reference. So the universe is kind of like a giant computer, right? It's a giant computer, and it wants to give you what you want. Okay. So a lot of times you're practicing law of affirmations or, you know, attraction or whatever, doing all that stuff. But the thing is, you don't know when that stuff is coming. So a lot of times you end up surprised by it. Or what if you pass it by? So the biggest thing that you can do is set an alarm in the system. And what it is, it's kind of like the microwave dinging you to let you know it's ready. Because it's all about timing, right? Because the universe has to set up the timing. The way that the universe does things, when I make a major decision in my life, okay, what I imagine happening in my path, you know, because everybody has their star path, right? I've talked about this in multiple other videos. Everybody has their star path that they are walking, their own rainbow road, yellow brick road, whatever you want to call it. What I see when I visualize how the universe is working this out is what I see is, if you remember, like Mario Kart, even if you're from, you know, the 80s and 90s, if you remember Mario Kart and you remember the Rainbow Road, okay? You're driving through the blackness on this beautiful rainbow road, right? Well, what's happened is you're driving, and what's happening way ahead of you are the pieces of the road are being put into place as you make decisions. Put into place as you make decisions. You have to give it time to do that, depending on what these decisions are. So when you tell or set it in the universe to set this, it is then telling you it's ready. So the universe likes to use numbers, loves to use numbers, loves to use factors of 3, Empress. Loves to use factors of 3. Look, we've got a 9 here too. So factors of 3 for numbers. I like to use the number 963 because I'm not going to see that on a clock. I'm not going to see it on a road around me or anything like that. And it's not going to be something that I see very often. And so but I intentionally set it that way. And so what I do is I tell the universe, when my next love is to come into my life and it's about time for them to come into my life, please show me repeating patterns of blank. You can set it for 3s. You can set it for 6s, 9s. You can do 963, whatever I do, whatever. If you want to do that too. You can do your favorite number. You can do your favorite football player's number. I don't care. And so it doesn't matter as long as it means something to you that you can recognize. Because then what's going to happen is that it will take a little bit of time. I've seen it. I've had it because I've played with this for a couple years. It's so much fun. I've played with it for a couple years. I've found that sometimes it can be as fast as 3 days. Okay. Actually, I've had it within a day before. For minor things, right? For minor little bitty things. But I've also had it take as long as months. So when it goes months, a lot of times you forget about what you said. You forget about what you said. So I would recommend putting like a note in your phone or somewhere where you can check it, that when you start seeing that pattern, say that 963 or whatever thing you want, and I'm going to tell you some more stuff you can look at too. When you see that on a regular basis within a week, if you see it multiple times within a week, I usually say 3 times within a week, and you recognize it, because the universe will make you recognize it to let you know, ding, 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 I'm ready. It will let you know. For example, I set it to let me know when my perfect house to move into when I was moving across the country, this one, when I was to find the house and put in an offer on it. Suddenly this alarm's going off and I'm seeing 963 everywhere and I'm just like, what's going on? And I had forgotten what I had set. Because I play with it all the time. I had forgotten what I had set. So I was like, okay, keep my eyes open. Well, the next day I put an offer on my house. So I did find it and I was like, oh, that's what it is. Okay, great. Wonderful. So now let's talk about like what you can use. So I'm specifically noting here, somebody may be fond of crows. You can see this here. Somebody may be fond of crows that maybe you don't see very often in your area, or there must be a certain behavior that these crows do that means something to you. So whoever that's resonating with, it's an action that the crows take that means something to you. I'm also going to say, we've got the Chariot here. This one has horses on it, okay? Horses may be something for you. We've got 2 horses, opposite colors. That one's really vague on me, though. Horses, Chariot. That feels very particular to one person who may be a horse kind of person who likes horses. It doesn't necessarily mean you have horses, but it feels like you're attracted to horses and like carriages and stuff like that. So there may be, especially as we go into the new year here, like festivals that you'll go to or something like that. Now, I don't want you to like be actively looking for this stuff, okay? don't be actively looking for it, because then you're gonna falsify everything for yourself, and you're not gonna let the universe do the talking. You need to let the universe do the talking and not you trying to force it. Okay? You're like, well, I want it right now, and the universe is like, it's not ready for another 3 months. You know, you need to let the universe do the talking. So don't be seeking stuff out or anything. Okay? Like, don't go out, I don't know, because this is how I do it. Because a lot of times when I find myself forcing things, I'll be like, okay, all right, so I set for this number. Where can I find it? Oh, I can find it on YouTube. You know, that kind of thing, right? So there's that. These are just the factors of 3. So anything with factors of 3 is really good. Potentially pregnant women. Pregnant women may be a thing. And this looks like a dove. So that's potentially what you've got going here for things that you can consider. Of course, you can set whatever you want. Just make sure that you say it out loud to the universe. Say it 3 times. 3 times, and it'll be set. Set it, forget it. Put a note in your phone, like in a notepad or something like that, that you set. And that way then you can be like, oh, what is that? Why am I seeing this all the time? Because you're going to notice it. Why am I seeing this? You can be like, oh yeah, I put that in. Oh, the alarm's going off. All right, that's what I've got for you today here, Scorpio. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for your patience with my long-windedness regarding this, but I can't help but do this. This is fun to me. So I was intending on doing this for the all signs, but I was like, look at how long it's already gone so far. 17 minutes. That's too long for the all signs. So, all right, I will see you guys next time. Have a good day.